Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the final match of the 1K World Cup quarterfinals. We're gonna round out this winners bracket weekend with arguably the marquee matchup of the weekend. It is our 4th seed United States A team going against our 5th seed United Kingdom in what will hopefully be a very electrifying matchup to round out what has been a very exciting quarterfinals weekend. As always, my name is Sparky, and I am joined in the commentary booth this time around by NHawk. NHawk, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's great to be seeing this match. I think this is going to be a great one. Last one of these quarterfinals. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some real big heavy hitters in both of these lineups. You have Joke 2 champion and Joke 3 podium finisher Cytos captaining the United States A team, and perennial mainstay in 1K Teasel rounding out the United Kingdom, and just a plethora of supporting cast for both of these rosters. I did receive word that we might be short a couple here and there, at least on the USA side. We'll see if the UK has their full complement, if we see the likes of Dragon, Mini Egg, Zubin as well to lend their support, to have Eliminate as well. But ultimately, this is one that can go either way. This is the closest matchup of the weekend, as I mentioned, and the overlap in skill sets of these two teams cannot be understated.
So we're looking like this is really going to come down to the wire then, you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think we were talking before this match started how we felt things were going to go, and I think the homerism kind of took over for a second. We both of our countries being represented on screen here. I from the United States, you from the UK. It's like we're pulling for our teams, but we're gonna do our best to stay as unbiased as humanly possible up here in the booth for their sake.
Now you might be, but I'll just say UK #1. Come on, let's go.
Absolutely, it's coming
But it's
home.
great competition. You'll love to see it.
Absolutely. But right now we're just waiting for the lobby logistics to get sorted out. Players getting invited into the lobby. Looks like we're not going to have any warm-ups for this match, which is crazy to think.
Straight into the action. Let's see about that then.
Absolutely. We won't have any precursor. We don't have to fuddle around with trying to fill in dead air, talk about match dynamics. We're just going to get right on into it. Team captain is going to roll the dice here.
Here it is.
Cytos with the 50. Teasel with the 84. So already looking good for the UK here, winning the roll, and gonna put the US on the bubble here for the first ban.
Let's see, what are they going to take out?
I mean, they pretty much have pick of the litter here. They're a pretty well-rounded roster. I wouldn't be surprised if we got rid of something like Step by Step or Radiant, just because of the fact that Step by Step is the hardest hybrid in this pool. And SV is just its own animal of having to practice and get it consistent enough with 2 players. It's already hard enough with 1 person learning it, but getting that second person to lend the supporting score is definitely a bridge too far for some teams, so might possibly see that get gotten rid of by either of these 2 countries.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost an unnecessary ban if nobody wants to play those kind of crazy maps, so we just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, that always comes into the equation as well. If you know both teams don't want to play it, why waste the ban there if you're just going to ignore it if it really comes down to it? But sometimes the safety of having it gone is nice, but it's going to be neither of those. LN1 is going to be the ban here, and that was pretty interesting. I think it's the easier of the 2 LNs in terms of structure, but that elevated OD does really start to chip away at your accuracy if you're not too careful. So maybe a bit of a safety ban over anything else.
Let's see, what were the UK going to take out?
I mean, the equation stays pretty much the same. They're pretty good at rice in their own right. Maybe wanting to get rid of something like the speed pick. I know the United States A team has a lot of very physically capable, accurate rice players, and the fact that busy come, busy go is... Never mind, it's going to be LN2, so no LN's going to be played in this match. A rarity at this stage, but one that I can get behind. Those are two pretty contentious picks in their own rights. LN2, that middle portion of that map is a nightmare to get through, relatively unscathed. And similar to how we were talking about SV being a bridge too far, just getting that second person to keep that consistency on it might just be a bit too much. And the UK gotta be up to pick first here.
Let's see, what are they going to go for?
I mean, could go, it's pick of the litter here. The LNs are gone, not having to worry about that. And judging by that category being removed, I could see something straightforward like Dopamine getting picked first. Masamune is a pretty good second option as well. Both of them have their own little pain points here and there, but they pale in comparison to the likes of Angel Dust and Ghost, at least on that side of the map pool. The bottom half is also open for picking, but might want to stray away from that unless absolutely necessary.
It would be a very bold move to open with the SV or S speed map straight in there. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, very unlikely, but I have seen stranger things happen here. People love to pull 180s on me all the time.
You gotta get the mind games going as well. Get the other team a little bit shaken, not knowing quite what they're going to get.
Exactly. It's a lot of metagaming being taken place, and it looks like Banjo
HB1
ate the message, so it is going to be Hybrid 1 coming through here. Quality Control going to be the first pick. Basically, middle of the road in terms of difficulty for the hybrids. I feel like Energy Inflation is the easiest in this pool, but this is a good first pick to kind of set the tone here, see how the United States is doing when it comes to their more burst-heavy accuracy.
I think you're right about that. This really is like a middle-of-the-road thing that's going to set the momentum for this match.
Yeah, not that long either, just 2 minutes, so not a lot of room for error here when it comes to finding mistakes if they do come. As it stands, looks like we have our players in the lobby. They've all kind of sorted themselves out here. Side Assist and LaFluffy going to be playing for the United States A squad, and Mini Egg and Teasel going to be representing the UK here. And the MP
Here
Start
we
command.
go.
MP Start command comes out. We are into the first map of this best of 9. This is a winner's bracket matchup, so no eliminations here, but gonna see one of these two teams get dropped down into that loser's bracket. And I don't know about you, NHawk, but there's a lot of teams that probably don't want to face either of these countries in that loser's bracket.
Absolutely. I mean, these are some powerhouses here. Whichever one of them does go to the loser's bracket is going to do a lot of damage down there, but I think they almost certainly want to keep where they are and head on to fight against Japan in the semi-finals.
Yeah, that's the reward for winning here. You get a date with the number 1 seed, so I mean, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but hey, somebody's gotta step up to the plate here to take them on. And as we make our way through this introduction, a little bit of Banjo lag, making me think that Teasel might have found a drop, but no. Both Mini Egg and Teasel holding strong, 99.8% accuracy, LaFluffy trying to match them here, 99.9 almost, and Cytosis picking up a couple of 200s through this introduction, but able to hold on to the full combo. Everybody up over that 400 combo cap as Cytosis finds the rush, but Mini Egg finds the drop. And now we're playing a little bit of a tug of war with this leaderboard as the United States tries to stretch this advantage. It's 4,000 points, but Cytosis finds the drop in the transition. Ooh, but the trade from NHawk, finding the trade back, not wanting to establish a bit of a foothold here, and it spares the blushes of the United States at the moment. Now 10,000 points, 12,000, and growing as NHawk fluffy falls as well.
He's gone.
Both FCs gone for the United States as NHawk just can't seem to really establish a foothold. Teasel really doing a bulk of the heavy lifting, but as I say,
everybody's gone.
No combos to speak of. But Cytosis now above that 400 combo cap, going to be able to right the ship a little bit for the United States. And through those exchanges, the trades working out in favor of the United States. Now 30,000 points in the lead. What felt like a intense tug of war turns into a pretty healthy cushion to start this match off with a sliver of map left to go. Not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they might have done just enough to see themselves over the line, even if they do find a miss this late on. And that will do it. The United States secures the first break point in this match to make it 1-0. Teasel and NHawk basically in lockstep with each other, 164 300s each. Just perfectly balanced. Lefefli and Cytosis, 205, 206. That is ridiculous.
What an incredible match right out the door. This is going to be incredible.
Absolutely.
I think this is going to be so close to the duration here. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, this is very nip-tuck. I feel like the overall score difference doesn't really paint the whole picture in terms of how close that map was getting at certain points. But as it stands, just being able to mitigate some of the damage from the misses. It's never the first one that does the damage. It's always the ones that follow thereafter that really set the tone. And USA going to go for Ghost here to start things off. A very bold choice in the context of this match, given how quality control went.
Yeah, this could go anyway, but maybe the US have a bit of a plan here.
Yeah, maybe opting to go for these more technical picks. This map, I've said it before, just very free form in how it's structured. Just alternating snaps all over the place once we get through that introduction, that any slip-ups can just cascade into tanking your entire performance. You find yourself at that 99% mark. Next thing you know, you're fighting to hang on to an S rank at the end of the day. But so we're going to see Zubin check in for Teasel here for the UK to try and contest. Fluffy and Cytosis staying put here. Another very short map as well.
Only a minute and 30 seconds to this one. There is going to be so little room to contest if things go one way or the other.
Yeah, there's really not much room for error on a pick like this, but with that being said, I mean, both these teams looking to trade in terms of the misses, so very much up in the air, and whoever blinks first could find themselves on the losing end of this pick. So could we start this match off with back-to-back break picks, or break points rather?
I think we certainly could. This really could go anyway.
So right now, just waiting on the players to ready up. Gonna get into this before too long. Players conversing a little bit before the map starts. Everybody's ready now. MP Star Command comes out. Gonna get into the second map.
Here we go.
Of this best of 9. this introduction. Very calm in the grand scheme of things. And will very quickly fly off the handles before too long.
Back and forth all the way through this intro, as you say.
Yeah, everybody's going to be hanging on to this 99.7% accuracy. We get into the triplet gallops. Any accuracy drops, I see a number of 300s coming through, but everybody makes it through relatively unscathed. The UK hanging on just a little bit better through that section, and we get into the real guitar section. And like I said, the snaps here are not the easiest to read as mania finds the first drop, but the accuracy seeing them through, able to tank most of that miss here, but losing a significant amount of points as we approach that 400 combo cap. Cytosis and LaFluffy able to hang on to their combos here and stabilize just a little bit. Not the highest accuracy to speak of, but enough to see themselves pull the lead in their favor. 21,000 points now. The gap as we approach this last third, not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination here, though.
It's closing a little bit now. The UK's coming back towards it. Oh, it's so close.
13,000
so
points.
close.
5,000. What's happening here?
Oh,
Massive accuracy
oh
drop.
wow. Oh wow.
It's
The
coming down
UK's now
to the
starting to
wire.
pad up a little bit.
Yeah, it's off the back of Zubin. 99.6 for them, able to basically wrench the lead back out from the United States.
Wow. And the UK has just taken that. I did not expect that.
Neither did I, but it is what this map can entail sometimes. No real mistakes from the United States. It's just raw accuracy at the end of the day. Zubin, 0.6% ahead of basically everybody else. That 990k alone, enough to give the UK their first breakpoint in this match, and we are now effectively in a best of 7. So now we wait to see what the UK's second pick is going to be. That hybrid 1 pick didn't work out in their favor, but maybe they keep things going here. Maybe go for something like hybrid 2.
Maybe a race map, since they did quite well on the last one. Maybe like race 3 or something.
Yeah, potentially. If Zubin's really failing it right now in terms of their overall accuracy, they could really throw a spanner in the works of what is potentially the United States' game plan of going for all rice here. But still, we wait to see what the pick is going to be. And it's gonna be Angel Dust. So Rice 1 going to be the pick here for the United Kingdom. I can get behind this pick. This is a stream pick. Very straightforward 1/4 patterns. Has some 1/8 bursts. This is essentially a consistency check. Alrighty, so we see the first substitution for the United States. Forest Master going to be checking in for Fluffy here. And Zubin staying put with Mini Egg for the United Kingdom. Cytosis probably going to play all of these maps for the United States. They are basically the best player on the United States roster out of any of the 3 that have assembled for this tournament, so would not be surprised if they kind of tank through all these picks. So as we continue through this introduction, like I mentioned, this is just going to be a raw accuracy test for all 4 of these players, and we can already see it begin to develop. 99.9s across the board for all the players involved. I think singular 200s are going to make all the difference here.
This is going to be a serious tug of war all the way through, I think.
Absolutely, separated by hundredths of a percent. The lowest accuracy in this lobby is 99.91%. You can probably count the amount of 300s every player has dropped in the double digits at the moment. And it is teetering on a knife's edge. This is way too close to call. We're already approaching the back half. A 10th drop from mania, but still keeping themselves in contention. We get into the double in transition. Does anybody find a drop here? No overstreams to speak of. Can you keep it clean though, as we make our way into the back half now? I saw a 200 drop from Forest Master on the singular LN. It shrinks the lead, but it's still 1,500 points in the United States' favor. Going into the burst, back into the streams. Nobody is batting an eye. Cannot afford to drop any accuracy at this point. A miss would be devastating going into the last quarter here. Virtually dead center UR bars. It is still within striking distance. Nobody's giving an inch when it comes to the accuracy. It is still all to play for here going into the last burst. Everybody makes it. Next streams to read through. I believe there's just one more 1/8 burst to read through, but everybody's dead center. They are locked in. Can they see it through the end? The lead beginning to expand for the United States, and they pull it through to the end. All breakpoints so far to start this match off. Oh my lord.
What an outstanding play from both teams there. That was incredible stuff.
Absolutely. Honestly, I think it came down to that singular 100 from Miniegg. Would have made it maybe a couple of 100 points. But it was way too close to call. You cannot ask for a better team performance from either of them. That beats literally everybody else in this tournament.
I think this is such a wonderful match to finish out the quarterfinals. Like, we got this unbelievable matchup of the teams, and every single map so far has been a total tug of war. We're really seeing the best of what these teams have to offer right now, I think.
Yeah, they're pushing each other to their limits. And we go into the speed pick, and this one very different to last week's. Very much straightforward rice base. We see Fluffy check back in, see if she can lend their support to Side Assist here, who's, I believe, beginning to warm up here. They mentioned they woke up like 20 minutes ago for this match, and
that's rough stuff. But good luck to them, I'll say that much.
Honestly, kudos to them. I would not be able to play at this level with 10 hours of sleep, let alone 20.
I could barely get my computer switched on after about 20 minutes, so you're absolutely right. Nothing but respect for that. I
mean, I was about to say credit to Miniegg and Zubin. Synced up misses through this introduction. A pretty significant actually drop. But Side Assist actually finding the drop as well, down into the 98% range. But 2-1 in terms of miscount. Fluffy, the only one with a combo to work with, but as it stands, plenty of room for recovery for everybody else in the lobby. Second quarter of the map upcoming. Side Assist finding yet another drop on these burst sections. The transitions out of some of those streams can definitely catch you out. We'll take a second to see if it is a Bancho miss, though, as we see the client taking a second to keep everything in check here. I do believe it was an organic miss, so combo reset for Side Assist here. 14,000 points now, the margin for the United Kingdom here as we make our way into the back half of the chart. Not a long map by any stretch of the imagination as well here. Very difficult to make it through unscathed. And it's the nature of those early misses now coming back to benefit the United Kingdom. They're going to be able to make it to that 400 combo cap at about the same time. Fluffy able to take a chunk out of the lead, but missing on the transition. And it's going to help grow the lead for United Kingdom as Maniac finds
Maniac as well.
Lead shrinks to about 10,000 points, still very much in the United Kingdom's favor. Zubin playing with fire there on the transition into the stream, but able to hang on. Fluffy not able to in response. No trades back from the United Kingdom going into this ending. And I think we're on course for another breakpoint here.
This is unbelievably close. You'd think they'd agreed to get this going. It's just point from side to side, like a tennis match or something. Incredible.
Absolutely, and the United Kingdom
takes the point. That's the break, like you said. Wow. I don't think you could ask for a more neck and neck, more tense match where you just can't say which way it's gonna go.
And it has devolved into a best of 5. When will the handshaking of these points stop? It feels bordering on collusion at this point. But honestly, like I said at the top of the broadcast, like these two countries, the overlap in their skill sets cannot be understated. If you put them together, you basically get a singular circle.
I mean, we might be seeing this all the way to the tiebreak. Can you imagine that?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. We've already had one tiebreaker this weekend. It was Peru going up against Italy. To see who makes it through, and Peru won that one. Can we see one here to round out the weekend? I don't know, my heart can take it.
Next, I couldn't possibly comment on what they're going to pick at this point in the stage of the game. It could be absolutely anything, I think.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine here, because we've seen wins on all manner of maps so far. The fact that we don't have LNs to kind of break the dichotomy is a bummer, to say the least, because that could have thrown some nice little spice into the arrangement. But I mean, SV is still on the table. We know both these countries do take the time to practice that style of map, so could be the wild card that swings the tide one way or the other.
Yeah. I don't think either team had a particularly great time with the hybrid, so I'm maybe seeing that not come up, but it's just impossible to say.
Yeah. It's just a matter of damage limitation. What map can you pick to really mask potential weaknesses and hope to pull out some mistakes from the other team? And it's going to be hybrid too, so energy inflation, the easiest of the hybrids in this pool, going to come out here for the United Kingdom. They have had the accuracy to rival the United States. Can they keep the misses, or can they keep the miss calls clean though, to see themselves over the line here? Because that's really going to be what it boils down to on this pick.
Will we have any players swap there, or do you think we're just going to see this one run as is? Nope, here we go.
Yeah, with the MP Star command coming out, I'm surprised Zubin's staying in for this one. We're not seeing Teasel check in for it, but I mean, they know their composition better than we do. Maybe Zubin's really just feeling it right now. They have been.
He's on a bit of a roll, so
yeah. Might as well play the hot hand here and just ride it while it's hot.
So straight back in like the signature tug of war that this match has been showing us so much of.
Yeah, there's very little separating these two countries at the moment. 2,000 points the difference, just 0.1% through this introduction. There are some pretty nasty bursts that can catch out a player if they're not too careful. Fluffy gonna be the first one to find the drop, and it's a pretty significant action drop as well, down into that low 98% range. No trades back from the United Kingdom here, and they're able to stretch their advantage to the tune of about 18,000 points here.
Red lot of map though. This could go absolutely anywhere. But that lead of the UK is growing.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to get up that 400 combo cap, the fact that it's only side assist on the side of the United States, able to try and contest, doesn't bode well for the United States' chances. But I mean, to be fair, this is the United Kingdom's pick. They felt very comfortable going into something like this. So could see that streak of breakpoints end now with 25,000 points to the good, and basically similar performances, 99.7, 99.8, basically in lockstep with each other, and no misses to speak of through some of the hardest sections on this chart. There's still a third of it left to go, so I'd be remiss to say that they're out of the woods just yet, but looking good for them so far. And with a tiny sliver of map left to go here, there's really not a lot of time left for the United States to mount any sort of comeback. Luffy doing very well to bring herself back up into the equation. 99.2% accuracy, but this is just a little bit too much for them to overcome here, as the United Kingdom going to be able to secure their first actual point.
That is slight break from what we're expecting there. No more of the tug of war. Things could go anywhere now.
And a virtual tie between Side Assist and Mini Egg. That is 3 judgments away from a tie. And now we can kind of settle back into some normalcy. 2-3. It's like we started this match off as a best of 5. But the question is, what does the United States go for in this situation? They do still have Rice 2 and Rice 3. I feel like Dopamine's probably the easier of the two. Masamune has that introduction burst that they might want to shy away from, but honestly, both are pretty good considerations. I imagine Hybrid 3 is going to be avoided here by the United States. That could potentially be the UK's final pick if they saw how energy inflation went so heavily in their favor.
Could be a real bold move for the UK. You know, Rice 3 might be good, but you know, the UK did show some good accuracy on the Rice before, and that one's quite dependent on it. So it could go anyway. It's very tough to choose. And the map pool, not too many left at this point.
Yeah, some real dangerous decisions going to need to be made to try and keep parity here, because I imagine the next breakpoint might be a bridge too far to overcome. But as it stands, still waiting for that pick to come out here from the United States. Wouldn't be surprised if they forgot that they're up to pick, given how things are going. It's gonna be Rice 3, Dopamine.
Rice 3.
I like that comment. Mini Egg is gaming with the newfound power of using 2 fingers.
2 fingers.
Who'd have thunk? Alternating does the body good.
Oh, and Teasel is back in for the UK.
Yeah, maybe feeling a little bit more confident on this pick, maybe giving Zubin a bit of a break.
Zubin has been very busy. I think that they could deserve a good break after that.
Absolutely, just settle the nerves a little bit, because this could still go either way, and the stamina does become a bit of an issue. Teasel, you're winning too many points, so I'm here to stop you. Yeah, that sounds about right. 2 joke veterans stepping up to the plate for the United Kingdom. I mean, to be fair, you'd be hard-pressed to think that Zubin hasn't played in a joke tournament, given their level of performance. They have always been proficient with basically Jack-oriented things, and this being all Jacks, they have the alternating style to be able to handle it. So for the United States, we see Jackson arrive to change the dynamic a little bit. This is a very elevated OD chart. Jackson is a very accurate Rice player in their own right. So would not be surprised if they put up a score to rival the likes of NHawk and Teasel here and lend their support to side assists for this one.
I can't wait to see how things are going to go after these player sweatshops. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, this map is incredibly punishing for hesitating. The OD doesn't give you much leeway in terms of your hit errors, so accuracy, again, going to be the name of the game for this one. Misses going to be at a premium as Jackson finds the first one for the United States.
UK's lead is growing right away. Is this going to be a repeat of the last round there?
Yeah, and side assist not able to have the high accuracy to kind of stave off letting the score kind of run away from them with that 99.4. Still climbing though as we make our way into the second quarter, so not out of it just yet. Still potential for trades from the side of the United Kingdom, but with the way NHawk and Teasel have been playing, might be hard to come by. Not impossible, still half the map left to go here, but the lead is 20,000 points. They have built up a cushion to kind of tank their way through one if it were to come, but Jackson finds a chain miss on the stream, transitioning into the back half, and that's going to help double the advantage. 50,000 points now in favor of the United Kingdom here.
That accuracy is really hurt, and I cannot see a comeback.
Okay, it's not over till it's over, but that one might be the one that puts the nail in the coffin. The 8% accuracy for Jackson, doing their best to try and mitigate some of the damage, but already 73,000 points in favor of the United Kingdom with a quarter of the map left to go. The balanced performance from their side, basically in lockstep with each other, just plug and play the players on their side. It makes no difference. They have the consistency today to rival anybody at the moment. And despite side assists coming up to try to cancel out one of the scores, it's a little bit too much at the end of the day, and the United Kingdom going to pick up another break point here to make it 2-4 and put themselves on match point. Great scores overall, 991k, 990k.
Jackson saying goodbye. Oh dear.
Oh, I think their game was lagging. That explains some of the misses there.
Oh, that's very unfortunate in a tournament. That's, you hate to see that, really. You hate to see that.
Hardware issues are never fun. It's even worse when you come in for the one map that you've kind of been specializing in, and it's unfortunate, but them's the breaks sometimes. And with the UK up to pick now once again, with how Dopamine went, Masamune might be the play here. They clearly have a tiny bit of an accuracy advantage over the United States in this matchup, so could roll the dice a little bit. Worst case, you put the United States on the bubble to pick a pick, and it is going to be Rice too, so rounding out this Rice pool, SV and Hybrid get ignored for the moment. It is going to be Masamune. I think this map is just going to come down to this introduction. It is a blind 1-4 stream into a slowdown.
Zubin has swapped back in for this. It is serious.
Yeah, they seem to be more inclined to handle some of these awkward technical maps, so unsurprising to see them check back in. Fluffy comes back in for the United States A. And all to play for here. United States got to break this and get the next point to force this tiebreaker to come out. UK can close it out here with a good performance.
I am on the edge of my seat here, Sparky. This is serious stuff. One excellent, excellent match.
Oh, and the accuracy drop from Fluffy starting off that stream on the wrong foot. That is the most dangerous part of this song. Everybody else making it through relatively unscathed above that 99.7 mark. But right out of the gate, 30,000 points spotted to the United Kingdom to start things off. There is a road to recovery. The fact that it was that early, I've seen players go from these low 90% marks back up to like 99.6, 99.5. Misses are still very much a thing. There are some really quick 3-note gallops that if you're not careful can find yourself dropping on. But as it stands, looking good for the United Kingdom so far going into the second quarter here.
UK have got to be feeling good about this one.
Yeah, if any of them can see the score, or if any of them are tuning in, it's just the good news ringing about as the lead grows to 41,000 points.
Halfway through.
I was about to say, side assist and mini egg in lockstep with each other. 99.9 side assist, the first one to blink, and that's going to grow the lead for the United Kingdom. Last third of the map coming through here. Fluffy doing an incredible job to bring themselves back into the equation just a little bit, but on a map like this, as straightforward as it is, those mistakes get punished mightily against the likes of Mini Egg and Zubin, who have been on it from the get-go here. 99.94, 99.91. There is little the United States can do to mount a comeback here. It might already be too late with a quarter of the map left to go. 64,000 points to cushion as side assist finds.
Oh, another miss.
Finds
I don't think it's going to happen.
The window of opportunity has quickly shut on the United States. And it was a valiant effort. It was very close. Those opening 4 maps proved to be the exchange that the United States wanted, but after that, it was all UK. And as the last couple of notes come down, it will be the United Kingdom punching their ticket into the winners semifinals, setting themselves up for a match against Japan next weekend. And with the way they're playing, they might actually have a shot of taking them down. Who knows? That is incredible from them. Commiserations to US. Not the best weekend for them. Looking to take next weekend, maybe recover a little bit and get right back to it in that loser's bracket. And that will do it for the quarterfinals. That was the last match. We are officially done with all the matches.
What a match that was to ring it out.
Yeah, what a way to end it off here. As we now have the bracket established. Japan taking on the UK, Australia taking on China in the winners semis. And as we take a look down in that losers bracket, all 3 United States teams losing this weekend. So all 3 of them in that lower bracket. USC up against France, Malaysia against Czechoslovakia, United States A up against Peru, and the United States B up against Canada. So lots to play for here for those teams in the losers brackets. A lot of heavy hitters still remaining, but that should do it for us here today. We're going to take a little bit of a break here to get the semifinal showcase all set up and prepared. The wheel has something in store for all of us remaining in the tournament. NHawk, do you have anything else left to add here before we close things out?
Nothing at all, but thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.
Take care, y'all.
Next time.